Hi everybody. I thought I'd come and say a few things that have been on my mind recently. Firstly, there's the power of the actual words that we speak, the sound of the words themselves, the vibration, and then there's the pitch and the tone of the note. And there are the notes in the scale, let's say the Western scale, let's start there. There are 12 notes, 12 tones that we regularly use. And then there's the Eastern scale, which has 60 notes or more, because in the East they recognize microtones. The reason for this talk is that I really feel that we must not limit ourselves to a framework of language, a framework of notes, tones, or a scale. As a musician all my life, I've been delving into the deeper meaning of why particular songs resonate and others don't, and why intervals have a particular feeling or create a particular resonance in a body. I know something that shatters fear, and that is that in order to really come to the truth and find the truth, we have to let go of all our preconceived ideas and notions of what we're told by anybody. So, for example, we're told that 432 and 528 and all these other frequencies, of some of which I use, and why not? This heals the heart, 528 heals the heart, 174 heals pain, right? Now, how many people here have actually examined why and where that knowledge has come from? Why? Why does 174 hertz heal pain? So you have to understand more about the body. Now, there was a missing link for me, which actually I'm so grateful to my partner for, because he filled in some blanks for me as an engineer and sound engineer. It's the shape of a room that denotes its resonance, which means it's the shape of our temple, our body, that creates the resonance. So it's the shape of our heart, the average heart being whatever that measurement is, will then resonate in a cavity of a particular measurement. So these are averages, right? These are averages that people are working on. 528 is the average, 432 is the average. It is not necessarily your frequency. Because we have to understand that microtones, those tiny little increments of change, are what actually creates different shapes and unique qualities within the forms that manifest as a result of the frequencies. So when people get very dogmatic about, oh, it's only 528 that's going to heal me. No, go and look at Peter Gurdjieff, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Gurdjieff in English, but Gurdjieff, I think, in Russian. Go and look at his work, because you'll find that the frequency, you could say blood song, if you look at Gil Alterovitz's work, is unique to each one of us, which means that my family tree will be resonating in a particular frequency, which might be in dissonance to yours, because mine might be a microtonal space different, which might cause a dissonance. If I'm in your sphere, in your biofield, or in your aura, let's just say, to use old-fashioned terms, just my very presence might irritate you because I'm resonating at a different frequency to you, which might cause dissonance or unharmonic feelings in you, unless you can tune up. Now, the whole point, when you get an orchestra of people together, when you get an orchestra of wonderful instruments together, you have to tune. And you have to tune in, and you have to make sure that everyone has come to the agreement that, let's just say, for the sake of argument, C equals 432 or C equals 440. You come to that agreement, you all tune into that frequency, and then you play whatever piece of music from there. You do not say 432 and 440, because then you will create a terrible cacophony of sound. Are you getting the understanding here that it's the microtones that create our uniqueness and beauty and truth? So let's not get hung up on more indoctrination from people who really haven't questioned music on a deeper level. They haven't looked at it in themselves. They haven't looked at frequency. Now, I do love Masaru Emoto. God bless him. I hope he's having a lovely time in the next realm, because he left such a beautiful piece of work. Now, beyond the actual frequency itself, which you could say is rather elemental, rather like fire, earth, air, water, metal, and wood, if you think about it, it's not really the actual tone or note that is the most important thing. Now, I haven't worked out whether there's a magnetic pull towards particular notes because of what's being thought. Possibly, you never know, it could be said. But thoughts are frequencies. Thought has mass. You can measure that on an e-meter, in fact, or a biofeedback machine. You can measure thoughts' mass. And sometimes, thoughts can have a heaviness. Well, believe it. Anyway, so thoughts have mass, intention has frequency and vibration. And that is the key, because you could be going right? You could say that, and nobody would know what on earth you were talking about, but the sound would be carried through into manifesting into this world. The intention behind it, and that is the key. It's the intention behind what is manifesting as aural sound in 4 dimensions. So where we are, where we reside in the invisible realms is key. Our attention and intention is the key. Where are we? Where are we? Where is our consciousness? So bringing consciousness into something that's tangible in this dimension, in this plane, in this world through sound. And that's what it is. In this search for truth, in this quest for understanding, in the quest for being able to get closer to our true nature, our God side, so to speak, there's a lot of red herrings and a lot of fear. Now, if something is saying it is this way, no, it might not be. Every single person has a unique blood song. Every person's DNA is unique and therefore has its own melody. Sometimes that melody is in harmony with the family, sometimes it isn't. Sometimes the dissonance created between melodies is painful and upsetting. And we have to learn how to harmonize better. And sometimes, if somebody's on a lower frequency, we have to reach some low notes that we don't want to go to. But that playing in sympathy is important. For example, 25 grand pianos in a room. You put down the right pedal, the sustain pedal on all of them, and you play a note on one. And every single other grand piano will start resonating at the same frequency. That is a metaphor for life and who we meet and how we meet and what we do. We also have to bear in mind the harmonic series and how incredible that is. It's infinite and beautiful, and yet mathematically perfect, and looks rather like the Fibonacci shape. And once we start to understand the beauty of the shape of the sound that we use and inhabit, you could say, function truly does create or denote form. So I'm here to say that we've got nothing to be afraid of. Everywhere you look, there's fear and fear-mongering. But what if we were to look and see something really incredible and beautiful? What if we were to look inside and see a vision of the future which is full of harmony, a symphony of life which is enjoyable and breathtaking? Because when we go into the woods or by a stream or a river, it is breathtaking sometimes. That natural world is beautiful. Every sound. And we go into a city, and that cacophony of cars and synthetic sound, that also has its beauty. It's just different. So I'll come back to what my daughter said when she was 3. She asked me, what's the future made of? And I said, what we do now. And then she asked me, what's the past made of? And I said, what we do now. And then she said, so what do we do now? And I'll leave it there, because it's what we do now that creates our future and our past.